Alright, hey guys, what's up? Camye again, doing another test ride. Test riding the Specialized Epic Carbon Comp. Say that 5 times. And we're also running the Specialized Aerial Expert. Start off with the saddles. Still quite pleased with the saddle. I do think it's a great, comfortable saddle. As usual, Specialized does great with the body jam for saddles. First impression on the bike. First time really riding a brain. I did notice on a finger network of roots how responsive the brain was. They hit those roots and that brain just caught on to every one of those roots and was just right on top of it. It's very impressive. I thought that, minute as it was a good test of the brain. While talking about the brain, one thing I'll note, while crossing some technical sections where there would be roots, boulders, rocks, what have you, I did notice a clunk in the brain. Wasn't a true fan of that. Initially I thought it was the bike bottoming out or almost a flat tire. It's the feel it gave me. It wasn't consistent, but it was rather persistent on some of the more technical sections, even on sections that were not that technical. Again, probably just something I would have to get used to. Descended quite well. It climbed quite well. I thought it climbed exceptionally well, actually. I think the brain had a lot to do with that and leveling out the climbs with that. One thing I did notice and was quite surprised at, it was kind of a cumbersome cornering bike. But in light of that, I did just come off a bike that had a very short stay in the back and it was an exceptional corner. So it could be wider adjustment. Getting back to the bike itself, everything on this bike is stock except for the saddle and the stem. Again, this is a Specialized Aerial Expert saddle, which I'll be riding on most of the test rides, and we did shorten the stem a little bit. Running a SRAM X9. One thing I did notice seeing right after the ride is the carbon. You do notice the smoothness of the carbon. Even if this is a hardtail, it would be even more noticeable. But I did really like the carbon. This is my first ride on a carbon mountain bike. So it's quite noticeable, the material difference in the frame itself. The frame retails for about $4,300, give or take, and I think you're obviously paying for the frame and the carbon in that price point. You know, well worth it for somebody looking to spend that much money. I think the rider looking to buy this bike is probably going to be somebody who's been at it for a while, somebody who either has the money to spend or saved the money and knows what kind of bike they want. This bike would do well in the racing scene. It would do well in endurance races. I think it would do exceptionally well for a lighter cross-country rider. That's the kind of market or the niche this bike is going to aim for. Overall, my first ride impression was quite good, minus the clunk in the brain and the slightly cumbersome cornering. But that could be conducive to 29ers in general, and I'm comparing it to other bikes that I've ridden, so we'll see how that changes on the last impression. One more thing I wanted to toss out, I did notice about the Specialized. We've noted on some prior testing the bottom bracket clearance or lack thereof, especially on another bike with the same suspension design. I did notice on this bike the bottom bracket clearance has heightened and or changed, so that whether it's a combination of them changing the bottom bracket clearance and or a combination of the brain and that working together. But I did want to make a note of that. I thought this was better and was much happier with the bottom bracket clearance over logs and roots and rocks and whatnot. It didn't bottom out like some of the other bikes did, and then the other bike with the same suspension design. So just wanted to toss it out there.